many exclusives that are breaking now on The Blaze. The lead story is Saudi national question in Boston bombings, allegedly flagged on terror watch list, and so much more. And there will be more stories coming out today. But for anybody who wondered about what was going on with Benghazi and what that was all about, I believe, this is my opinion now, this is not the facts that I just gave you, this is now my opinion. I believe this is an extension of what was going on in Benghazi. Let me give you a real quick recap. There are 3 suspects now. One is being dismissed. The first one was the Saudi kid that was in the hospital. We will be giving you a timeline and some additional information tonight at 5 o'clock and things that you can do to actually help. I warn you, if we do not stop our government from lying to us on this one, this again is just a continuation of what they did to us in Benghazi. They will first ignore, then try to discredit. They will discredit, well, Glenn Beck, he never has his facts, whatever. They will try to discredit, then they will try to confuse, and they'll do it 3 days here, 5 days here. Pretty soon, no one will be talking about it anymore, and something else will happen. This is extraordinarily critical to understand, because while the media is looking for, why did these crazy kids go out and do this? Well, we can tell you why. Islamic terrorism. Islamic extremism. Period. But it is not just about these 2 kids. On September 13th, 2001, to show you the pattern of this government and to show you that this is not this president alone, we've just gone into hyperspeed. On September 13th, 2001, 2 days after 9/11, Prince Bandar bin Sultan had a private meeting with President Bush in Washington. Shortly thereafter, although all private flights were grounded, planes began to round up the Saudi nationals from various parts of the U.S. Within 1 week, 140 Saudis, including members of the bin Laden family, are flown out of this country, having never been interviewed or questioned by law enforcement. It is happening again. For 3 years, the White House and other federal agencies insisted that the flights never took place. The Bush administration would later block the investigation into the Saudi involvement in 9/11, even though 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudis. They would eventually force the redaction of 28-page chapter of the 9/11 Commission report regarding foreign, specifically Saudi support for some of the Al-Qaeda hijackers. The pages still have never been seen. According to the New York Times in 2003, Prince Saud, who met with Kerry and this president just last week, were dispatched to D.C. over concerns that classified sections of the congressional report on 9/11 would remain classified. This scenario is playing itself again. January 14th. This is very important that you understand. January 14th of this year, our president met with the Saudi Minister of Interior. 2 days later, Janet Napolitano signed an agreement with the Saudi minister allowing trusted traveler status on Saudi student visitors. What does that mean? That means if I'm going to school in Findlay, Ohio, I now appear to our system as a Canadian. If I am coming from Saudi Arabia, all I have to do is swipe my passport. They're not going to ask me. They don't have to take off my coat. They don't have to do anything. I'm a Canadian. I'm a Saudi. So you know, France and Germany do not have this. So you know, Israel is on the list, but no one in this administration will sign that document. This is trusted traveler status that we don't give to some of our most trusted allies, and we gave it to Saudi Arabia last January. So if somebody is going to Findlay, Ohio, and they're on a student visa, they just walk into our country, no questions asked. Here are some questions that need to be asked by the media. Where is the Saudi kid who is in the hospital? Is he in the country right now? If so, where? The person you say is the real kid that's being deported, where is he? What is he being deported for? Why was there a 3B terrorist activity filed on the Saudi national in the hospital? Who was the person who decided that a person with that name was subject to a 3B? Why was the file altered on the 17th? What and who found the information that changed the status from a 3B? Why did the FBI confirm that the person in the hospital was the same person the file was created on? Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. We have the information. Why are we deporting anyone from the city of Boston while still at the crime scene? What mosque did the Saudi kid attend? Oh, the one that is the Muslim Brotherhood mosque. What mosque did the two brothers attend? Oh, the Muslim Brotherhood mosque. For all the media members who reported an arrest had happened, and they got it all from their personal sources that they trust, did they follow up and ask why that person of color was gone and why all the misinformation and why they got that story wrong and why there was a bomb threat that distracted everyone to get them away from the police and the courthouse? Why was the Saudi national on an F1 visa to study in Findlay, Ohio? And why didn't anybody check if he had actually made it to Findlay, Ohio? Why was he in Boston? Who altered the file on the Saudi national? Why is Fox News Radio the only one that's really giving us any of this information? Why is a U.S. citizen, the Chechnya bombers, a U.S. citizen, not read his Miranda rights due to public safety concerns, which means that can only be invoked if something is imminent and they believe more people are involved? And yet this Saudi with a 2123B is allowed to get on to a plane.